What's going on, people? Welcome back to a brand new video. I just want to make a quick video on the game we played this morning against Wolverhampton. So we won that game 3-1, and I have to say, one of the easiest match we could ever perform this season. I'm sorry, but that match today, it was so easy for Chelsea. At some point along the game, and I was saying, we should show more intensity. We will, let's move the ball faster and everything. But then I realized there was no reason. Like, there was actually no reason for us to get into the first gear because Wolves were just making it so easy for us. Going forward, we should have scored more goals. And I think as fan base, we want to see obviously start padding more goals, more hat tricks, and people like Delap to score goals, Enzo Fernandez. We want to see more goals when we play against Wolverhampton. You remember last time we scored about six away goals when we played last season. So we thought that was going to be the situation today, considering we were 3 up at halftime. But if you look the way we have so many games this season, finishing a game 3-1 against Wolves, it's not a bad result. As much as we wanted to see more goals, we have to save the energy, for the next game against Leeds, which is going to be another high intensity game in terms of, just runners. So I didn't mind it today. Even the fact that we had to take Cole Palmer in about 50-something minutes, I didn't mind it today. You got to rest them. Wolves today didn't even look like they could score more than one goal. In the beginning, they didn't even look like they could score a goal, which is something I'm going to talk about, the fact that we considered a goal against Wolves today. Now, this is no disrespect to Wolverhampton, but we should have kept a clean sheet today. We should have kept a clean sheet. But first, let me praise my players. Like, I can't really praise them as much as well because the graph or the bar is really low. You play against Wolves. There's a reason why they've got 8 points in about 25 games. There's a reason for that. There's a reason they are fighting, or not fighting, but they're actually going to get relegated. So, yeah, all I wanted to see today was a professional performance. And every time they looked like they were upping the intensity, Chelsea also looked like they were upping the intensity as well. I think we defended really well, except for the goal that we considered from a corner. But in general, I thought it was a quick and easy, like 3 points. Happy for Cole Palmer. He scored 3 goals today, 2 penalties, and 1 from from an open play. Listen, with Cole Palmer, again, I'm gonna talk about him for a second. I think that's the main reason I actually made this video, because I wanted to make some comments on Cole Palmer because there's been so many speculations on him. So we're gonna touch a little bit on him as well. But yeah, I just wanted to praise my players. João Pedro today, I was gutted that he didn't have his goal, but the way he was active in the box and the way he was willing to take some shots in the box, it was really, really promising. And we know that he's been on a run, scoring goals against Napoli, Bournemouth, Brentford, even against West Ham. So, like, I was happy with the performance and the result. But as you already know, there is always negatives. There's always things that we need to improve. And one of those things for me, it has to be keeping clean sheets. Listen, I'm looking at Sanchez this season. This is probably one of his best seasons in a Chelsea shirt. He's been good. He's been playing well. He's saving us from so many games. And the least we could do as a team is to give him that golden glove, is to give him as many clean sheets as we can give it to him. And that's the problem this season, because even when he plays really well, we seem to not defend in some moments very well, whether it's from a corner kick, whether it's from an open play. We seem to sleep a little bit in those moments and end up conceding. I saw him today when we conceded. He was fuming, and I don't blame him. When you play against Wolves, these are the games you're supposed to keep a clean sheet. You're supposed to keep a clean sheet, and we didn't give that to him today, and I was gutted for him because I was looking for a clean sheet. But with that being said as well, that goal was kind of coming because we became more complacent because it was too easy for us. You saw Enzo Fernandez trying something new in the box. You saw players. Listen, I was gutted that Sanchez didn't get his clean sheet today. But anyway, we moved. The most important thing was obviously to win the game and to get those 3 points off the ladder, because difficult games are going to come when we play the likes of Arsenal, and I think we're going to play Aston Villa as well. I think we are going to play, if not City as well. So difficult games are going to come. I think Liverpool, we're going to play them again as well. So picking points against these teams, the likes of West Ham and Wolves, has to be the priority. We have to win the games we are supposed to win. We have to. The games we're supposed to win on paper, we have to also win them on the pitch. And this is what we did today against Wolverhampton, and I'm really happy with that result. Now, there's another negative in the game. I say this when we were playing Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Neto was not available. And I say, it didn't really bother me that he was off, because he's not been performing well, and you saw it today. Cole Palmer could have scored 4 goals today, and Pedro Neto could have scored even 2 goals today. He could have had 2 goals and assists if he was actually serious on the pitch, or if he had the quality that was needed in those moments. Listen, I think it's time to bench him, but at the same time as well, if you bench him, Jamie Gittens is injured, and you have Garnacho on the other hand, which is a mess. Our wingers is a mess. When I look at our wingers here, I think we only got one good winger in Esteval. When I look at, obviously, Cole Palmer doesn't really get played as a winger. I would like to see Cole Palmer being played as, from that right-hand side. But either way, it's fine. Even as a 10, he can play. But you look at Jamie Gittens, Garnacho, Pedro Neto. These are not good wingers. They're not good. They're okay, decent players. But to the level that Chelsea should perform at, they are not good at all. And which is why I was very fuming when we loaned Tariq George. You're loaning Tariq George and you're leaving Garnacho at the club. What sort of message are you sending to the fan base? You don't want to win. And this is not even me saying Tariq George is so much of a good player. But I would rather have Tariq George being played as a left wing or even as a 10 or whatever, as a 9, than seeing Garnacho on the pitch each and every week. Like, I'm tired. Before we bought Garnacho, when we were just linked with him, I said it. This guy is not good. I can't think of anything Garnacho is good at. He can't take on his man. He can't even track back to Mark. You see, with people like Pedro Neto here, as much as they are shit going forward at times, or most of the time, at least in defensive, they can help the defense. Pedro Neto knows how to track back. He knows how to counter-attack, even though he then kills the game, the attack. But at least you can say he knows how to track back. He knows how to keep on his man. Sometimes he might take on his man. You might end up having a shitty cross in the box. But you're getting something. With Garnacho, there's nothing he does to me that I think is good. Even when he scores a goal, it just looks wrong. There's no technical ability into that. Everything Garnacho does, it just looks wrong. And I don't know why we bought him. I don't know. We could have kept Tariq George at the club. I just don't understand that move. Now, let's go to Cole Palmer. I want to talk about Cole Palmer for a second, because there's been so many speculations on how, United were linking, there were some links with United that he was going to leave, and people were saying he's not happy at Chelsea. And I've always never believed those rumors. I just never did. Because when I look at Cole Palmer, he's someone that in his career, we don't actually have evidence that he has been injured before, or at least being out as many games as he has been this season. So players likes to play football, right? And if he's not playing football, he wants to go to World Cup. He wants to put up his numbers, goals, assists. He wants to enjoy football. And when he doesn't do that, he gets raised. And that's common sense, right? So then those links, for me, I never believed them. But today, I was happy that we got to see him in front of the camera and actually, give us his voice. And he said, I've never been injured before in my career. This is something new to me, and I'm still finding out how to deal with it. It has been frustrating. I don't feel like I've played a game this season fully fit. I've been going into games thinking, can I do certain things? Can I not? So this explains everything I've always thought about. Cole Palmer just looks not happy because he's not playing games. He's a football player. He wants to play games. So those links of United, maybe it's time we stop talking about that. And remember, he's on like what, 7-year deal. So Chelsea's not gonna let him go. Even though he doesn't play football, he's still a big asset to the club on and off the pitch. So yeah, those links, United fans, I am sorry. The dream has been killed. Now, this is another thing that I want to talk about as well, because he made a comment on Liam Rosino. He said, life under Liam is amazing. He gives us all the confidence. Let us be ourselves. Play free. I'm sure when I'm back proper fit, you'll see the best of me. And I have no doubt about that. And that's part of the reason why when Maresca got the sack, obviously, there's some elements of like why, from a human perspective. But if you want to look at the facts and the way he was playing football, the way he used to set players up, he didn't give players enough freedom to express themselves. And that's one thing I don't like about today's football. I don't like about it. I don't like about, these new managers. They want to use these players as robots. And growing up, I used to watch the likes of, obviously, the Thierry Henry, used to watch the Didier Drogba, the Eden Hazard, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, the list goes on and on and on. Even when you go back to out of my time, you look at the Zolas, I never really got to watch him play, but when I go back and look at the shots and everything, you can see that those guys used to play football freely. They used to express themselves. And then you look at today's world, you got the Pep Guardiolas, the Mikel Artetas, the Marescas, always wants to control these guys, what they do and what they shouldn't do. Sometimes you just have to let players play football because that's what they do. They're football players for a reason, especially when you're talking about your creative players, your wingers, your number nines. Let them play football. Let them express themselves. If they want to drop deep and if they want to attack, if they want to cross, if they want to, just let them be. Of course, we can still talk about the systems, the tactics, the formation. But the most important thing is to let players play football. And that's something I like from Liam Rosino. Don't get me wrong. He has his own tweaks and everything where sometimes you don't understand if a player is actually playing as a winger or is playing as a left wing back or is playing, is inverting or is overlapping. Yes, those things will come because that's where football is nowadays. But for him to say, or for Cole Palmer to say, Liam Rosino allows these players to be themselves and play freely, that's something I want to see from my team. Not just from my team, I want to see from football players. That's when we used to enjoy football, when players used to be players. Nowadays, they are robots. You look at Pep Guardiola's. He's limiting the likes of Ryan Cherkis, the Mamouche, because there's too many instructions. Do this, don't do this, do it this way. Players just needs to get out of their heads and just do what they're feeling and just play football. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So with Liam Rosino, Brentford, Crystal Palace, West Ham and Wolves, 4 out of 4 in the Premier League. Of course, we lost 2 games to Arsenal. Those are his only 2 losses in Champions League, 2-2. So 6 out of 8 for me. That's a good record. And I do think that he does deserve Manager of the Month, him or Michael Carrick, whichever one you give. I think they do deserve that. Yeah, so listen, people. We celebrate the win today, and I'll see you guys just before the Leeds game. Peace.